So welcome to Mindful Yoga. It's nice to have you all with me today. I'm glad you joined me. And I just want you to notice in your day, or think about your day and how often you think you're really present with what you're doing, with your thoughts, what's happening. Our mind tends to just go all over the place, into the past that doesn't exist, and into the future, which is imaginary. And the mind can take us all over the place, and we usually have thoughts that that repeat. We think them over and over again, kind of in a pattern. And we often resist what's present. And in yoga, we're going to practice being in the present moment and discovering the fulfillment that can be found right there in the present moment. The mind will resist that, but we're going to give the mind something else to focus on, breath and sensations in the body, because those are happening in the present moment right now. So by focusing there, we can always come back to the now. So our breathing is essential, and we can use breath to help us in our poses when we get to our edge. And most of you know what that is. That's where we begin to feel some resistance. Say we're beginning to do a side bend, and you feel a little bit of tension or tightness, so we just stop there and breathe. And you'll notice the breath will naturally calm the body, quiet the mind, and we relax. And that's when we can go deeper into a pose. We also can notice what's happening at the edge by being mindful. Notice what thoughts are coming up. Maybe we're pushing ourselves. And when we notice that, just come back to breath and the feelings in the body and settle in and just relax into the pose. There's no perfect pose except that which is perfect for you, for your body. So again, the edge is that place where we begin to feel some resistance, and we don't want to push. We don't want to resist. We just be at the edge, focus inwards, breath, sensations, and relax there. So we're going to begin with a short meditation, and then we're going to come lying on our backs to explore our breath a little bit. So again, sitting up tall, we want to bring out one hip and then the other so the sits bones are grounded. In yoga, we always root to rise. We call this pressing and extending. So we press into the seat or our feet, whatever is happening in the pose, and we extend away from there. So now as we're sitting, we feel the sits bones grounded and tailbone reaching down. And from there we lengthen from the tailbone up through the spine, between the shoulder blades, up through the base of the skull, and all the way through the crown of the head. We don't want to have the head forward. We want to just bring it back a little bit. Roll the shoulders gently back and down. Let the arms be relaxed and heavy. Elbows into the body. And the hands can be resting on the thighs, palms up, or they can be down. So let your eyes close. Let your eyelids be very soft on your eyes. Beginning to take our attention inward, just feeling the body. Noticing any areas of tension or tightness or holding. And consciously begin to relax those areas. Follow the flow of your breath. And allow the exhalations to relax the body and also take you a little deeper inside yourself. You can feel the temperature of air coming in through the nose, a little cooler. And the temperature of the air as it flows out through the nose, a little bit warmed from the body. Letting the shoulders stay relaxed away from the ears. We tend to tighten up in the neck and shoulders and even the jaw, so let the jaw release. Let the teeth be separate. Facial expression fading away. Smoothing down through the neck, shoulders and arms, hands and fingers. And the muscles of the spine are holding us erect, but we can let them soften. Let the belly be soft through the whole pelvis and hip area. And then softening through the legs and feeling the feet and toes relaxed. And just let the breath flow freely in and out. I invite you to take a deep breath in with me and exhale through the mouth, further letting go. There might be some tension that's still gripping, and just let that soften as best you can, not forcing and not worrying if it won't release. And again, take a deep breath in and let go. Just enjoy the stillness, the peace that comes in stillness. And please join me as we chant one sound of Om. This will create vibration in the body and take us a little bit deeper within. So again, sitting tall, pressing down to the sits bones and lengthening up through the spine. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully. And again, taking a deep breath in. Feeling the effect of vibrations. And then gradually opening your eyes. And this is the state of being we are looking to achieve throughout our practice. Conscious, relaxed, and centered. So slowly make your way onto your back. If you have any spinal issues, you can come onto your side this way and come onto your back or whatever feels right. And you can separate your feet wide and let the knees knock in towards each other. Tuck the chin just a little bit and let your arms relax by your sides for a moment. Take a breath, let your body melt down into the floor at the same time feeling the earth supporting you, holding you. And then place one hand on your belly and one hand at the top of the chest at the heart area. And feel the movement of your breath. We're going to begin our Dirga Pranayama breath. It's the 3-part breath, as most of you know. We're going to breathe into the belly, the ribs, the chest. So inhaling deeply into the belly without force. Feel the belly expand. Feel the breath rise to the low ribs and all the way to the top of the chest. And we're going to exhale in reverse direction, reverse flow from top to bottom. Imagine filling a water bottle. Inhaling into the belly, the ribs, all the way to the top. And exhaling top to bottom, letting the belly come in last. This is a wonderful breath for anxiety. Please continue this breath on your own. Just a few breaths this way can release a lot of tension, worry, brings you into the moment. So just feel the breath flowing in and out, the movement it creates in the body, the sensations. And take 3 more of these deep, long, slow breaths. We're becoming the witness to all that's passing. We don't necessarily want to stop the thoughts, but we want to just notice them and observe them, not with any judgment, but just becoming more and more aware of the now. Let's take one more deep breath. Belly, ribs, chest. And let it go. And let's release the hands down to the mat. Walk the feet a little closer together. So the feet are about hip width apart. Let the arms rest alongside your body. And we're going to take a breath in. And as you exhale, let the belly come into the spine and feel the tail lifting. You're going to feel the pelvic floor muscles engage. And see if you can draw the pelvic floor up a little bit with that exhalation. And then inhale and release. And again, exhale. Feel the belly contract, drawing the navel in. The tail lifts a little bit. Small movement of the pelvis. We're engaging our deep core muscles. And again, inhaling, release. And exhale. And inhale, release. And now we're going to take a breath in. And as we exhale, press into your feet. Exhale, draw the navel in, curl the tail under, and let the pelvis lift up. Doesn't have to be too high. And then inhale, lower back down. And then we're going to walk the feet just a couple of inches away. Taking another breath. And exhaling again, belly in, tail curls under, lifting up the pelvis. And continue this on your own. Coordinate the breath with the movement. Walking the feet a couple inches more at a time. Lifting the pelvis. And it will get more and more challenging as you walk your feet away. It may be that eventually your heels will be on the mat, and that's okay. You're going to feel stretch in your hamstrings. And again, we're waking up the core. Really getting that core warmed up. And eventually just begin to walk the feet back. Continue lifting the pelvis. Deep breaths, long, slow exhalations. And feeling everything that's happening in your body. And then coming to that neutral position once again. Take a deep breath. And exhale, let it go. And then please slowly make your way onto your hands and knees in tabletop pose. Nice and slow. So the shoulders are above the wrists, hips are above the knees, feet and knees are hip width apart. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Give them a lot of space. We're going to curl the toes under. We're going to take a breath in and let the tail lift. Similar movement that we just did. We're going to move through the spine. The heart lifts forward, lifting the gaze. And then exhale, drop the tail, tucking it under. Let the belly pull in. Press gently into your hands to round the spine, drop the head down. And again, inhale, let the tail lift. Undulating through the spine, but moving with the breath. So we're in harmony with movement and our breathing. So move at your pace, cat and cow pose. Nice, full, long, deep breaths. Dirga Pranayama. Once more. And then finally coming to a neutral spine. Not letting the belly drop down. We're keeping the belly pulled in a little bit. And we're going to take a nice breath in. And exhale, turn your gaze to the right, looking at your right toes. Inhaling back to center. And exhale, looking towards your left toes. And once more, inhaling to center. Exhale, right. Inhaling. And left. And coming to center. And then we can reach the left hand over to the right. You can let your right elbow bend, just getting a stretch in your left side. However it feels good in your body. We're still breathing. Letting go on the exhalations, feeling the expansion of the ribs on the left as we inhale. And on your next breath in, bring that left hand back in. And exhale, bring the right hand over to the left. And just get a nice stretch now on the right side. Deep breaths. Sending that breath deep and into the ribs to open those muscles, those intercostal muscles. And inhaling slowly, coming back up. And as we exhale, we're going to do torso circles. So we're going to bend the elbows, let the belly come down, and then shift our hips and whole torso over to the right. And then coming into that cat pose, rounding, and then moving left. However this feels good. The circles can be as small or as large as feels good. Remember, this is a mindful yoga, so we're moving the way our body feels good. And if this doesn't feel good, you can move any other way that does. And then we're going to go the other direction. And then coming to a neutral spine. Uncurl your toes. You can widen your knees or keep them together. We're going to come back in child's pose for a moment, where we bring the arms alongside the body. With the knees together, we have a little more rounding of the spine. If that doesn't feel good for you, just separate the knees a little bit wider. Let the forehead come down to the mat, or place your forehead on your fists. On your next inhalation, please slowly rise back up to tabletop pose. Settle in, and let's take a breath in and bring the right foot forward between the hands. So we're into a lunge pose. And just let your pelvis sink down. Inhale, come up a little bit. And exhale, sink the hips down. Watch that the right knee is directly over your ankle. And this is where blocks can come in handy. They come in 3 heights: lower height, medium height, and high. So you can come up on blocks a little bit and just allow your pelvis to sink down. Good, so we're preparing for half split pose, Ardha Hanumanasana. Sounds scary, but it's not. So I'm just letting my pelvis sink down and just shifting forward and back a little bit to find my edge here. And when you feel comfortable, just sink down, relax and breathe. You want to just pull your hands towards you a little bit. This is going to lift the heart. Feel the inner thighs scissoring towards each other. This is going to bring the right hip back a little bit, so the hips are square and forward. The low back pulls in to protect the low back. We don't want the tail lifting up, so we're pulling the tail in, and let the heart lift and breathe. And take another deep breath now, and exhale. I'm going to shift back and let my right toes lift up. And I can walk the blocks with me. Remember, I can be even higher. And just shift my hips back. Good. And breathe. Let your tail lift. Pull the right heel into your right hip socket. You're going to feel a little bit more of a pull behind your right thigh. The left hip is going to square with the right. And we find our breath here. And what's happening right here? Are we pushing past our edge? And we'll know that because we won't be able to breathe deeply. And the mind will be going all over the place, perhaps. So just keep following your breath. Let your body soften here in this half split. And then on your next inhalation, slowly allow that right foot to come back down. Walk the blocks back forward. Place your hands on the mat and bring that right foot back. And let's just for a moment sit back in child's pose. Let it go. And just your focuses on the breath and sensations. Just in the here and the now. Once more, inhale, slowly come back up. Coming back to tabletop pose. And this time bringing the left foot forward. Again, find the blocks, however height works for you. Left knee is over the ankle. And again, we're just letting the pelvis sink down and coming up. Inhaling and exhaling. It might be that you need to bring that left foot closer to you or further away. All right, so honor your body, feel what it needs. So then when you find that place that feels good, sink down. Again, just kind of pulling their hands towards you on the blocks to lift your heart, or whatever your hands are on, maybe the floor. Draw that right hip forward a little bit. Keep the low back pulled in, and just focus on the length from the tail through the crown of the head. Remember not to let the tail be lifting up. Pull it down and in. Deep breaths. One more. And as we exhale, again, beginning to shift the hips back slowly. Let the left toes curl under. Walk the blocks with you for support. Maybe bring them to another height. And settle back. Again, feeling the stretch in the back of the left thigh here. Pulling the toes in towards you. Pulling that left heel right into the hip socket. You'll feel that right hip shift a little forward. We still want the heart to be lifting forward and up. The gaze soft and the breath steady and smooth. This keeps our mind steady when we have that steady, long, deep breath. On your next inhalation, slowly lower that left foot back down. Release the blocks. Bring the left foot back. And once more, settle down in child's pose. Coming back to our center, coming back to this place that's calm, peaceful, where we're content and open. On your next inhalation, please once again rise to tabletop pose. We're going to come into puppy pose before we come into downward dog. Puppy pose is a great alternative to downward dog. You can always come into this pose if you'd rather not do downward dog, so keep that in mind. We're going to curl the toes under. We want to walk first we're going to shift the hips back so the hips are about the middle of your calf. So not all the way back to the heels, but right in the middle. And then keep the hips stationary. We're going to walk the hands forward. Let the head lower a bit so you can reach as far forward as possible. And when you've reached as far as you can widen your hands if you need for your shoulders if they're hurting you. And then you can shift back through the hips. And you won't go anywhere, but you're lengthening the spine. And this is very similar to downward dog. This is the effect we're looking for with downward dog. Breathe. We're strengthening our shoulders, creating space between the vertebrae. Use your breath now to hold this pose at your edge, not moving into pain, just where you can feel a sense of a little tension but relaxation at the same time. Never moving into stress in our poses. Keep the breath steady and smooth. And inhale, slowly come back up. Walk your hands back up. And maybe you want to sit on your heels for just a moment to rotate the wrists or shake them out. Because we're going to come into downward dog next. So at any time you need a rest, you can come into child's pose. You don't have to do anything I'm telling you to do. So let's come to tabletop pose. And we're going to walk the hands now one hand's distance forward. We're going to curl the toes under. You might want to look for a minute. It's up to you. I'm creating a lot of space between my fingers and I'm pressing down into every part of my hand, particularly the first finger and the thumb. We tend to let those start to lift. And we're going to take a breath in, pressing into the hands, lifting the knees, not straightening the knees yet, but reaching through the arms to bring the hips back. And then maybe straightening the legs a little bit. Most people like to have a little bit of a bend. If we begin to straighten them and we're tight, we might come forward and bring a lot of weight into the shoulders. We want to shift back. So bending the knees is perfectly okay. You can bend one knee and the other. You can rock the hips side to side. You can come out and come back into puppy pose or child's pose if you want to. Good.
And on your next inhalation, we're going to slowly bend the knees and walk up to our hands. Coming into a forward fold. Feet are about hip width apart. And just let the upper body hang forward. Be sure to bend your knees. Let the tail just lift up a little bit. Let the crown of the head reach straight down. We want to release the tension in the neck and the shoulders. And if you like, you can create a little traction in the cervical spine and the neck by interlacing your fingers and placing them at the base of the skull. And just let the weight of your hands bring the head straight down. Meanwhile, breathing deeply. And you can stay here, or if you'd like to change your position and create a little bit of a shoulder opening, you can interlace your fingers behind your back. Reach the knuckles back and up, and maybe they come forward. Remember to keep the belly in contact with the thigh. We don't want to straighten the legs and compromise our low back. Soften the elbows and just let those arms fall forward. However you find yourself, just breathe. Focus on every breath in, every breath out. We're just here in this moment, not letting anything pass by unnoticed. And then inhale, slowly lower the hands to your low back if they're there. Let's bring the hands to the hips, bring the elbows into the side of the body, bend the knees, and as you inhale, press into your feet, slowly coming up to standing. And either close your eyes or just let them be soft. And just feel your body standing. Feel your breath changing back to a relaxed flow. Good. Let's bring the hands to the heart. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower the arms and inhale them all the way up. And again, exhale, lower the hands through prayer position. And again, inhaling the arms out and up. And exhaling the hands back to the heart. Once more, deep breath, belly, ribs, and chest. And this time we're going to exhale and bend the elbows out into cactus as we lift the heart. I'm going to come to my side so you can see my low back is pulling in, the elbows pressing back to lift my heart. And then I'm going to exhale, bring the palms together and fold forward once more. Lowering the hands to the mat. Lift your tail. Bring the hands on your shins and inhale to Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. And exhale, bend the knees. Reach the arms out to the sides. Keep the knees bent. Lift your head and chest as we inhale, bringing the arms all the way back up. And exhale, the hands to the heart. Release the arms to your sides. Close your eyes for just one moment. Take another deep breath in. Let it go. Just this. Just feel the serenity, peace, and calm of just this moment right here. Good. And then letting your eyes open when you're ready. Preparing for warrior pose, we're going to bring our feet hip width apart. Standing in mountain pose, firming down into the feet. And extending up through the spine, out through the crown. So very active in our low body. Let's bring the hands to the hips, elbows in and back. Shifting our weight this time to the left foot, the left leg. Bending your right knee, slowly lifting that foot off. Bringing in a little balance here. Sneaky, bringing in a little balance. And take a nice breath. And exhale, we're going to lean forward and bring that foot all the way back. So I'm going to show you this on the side. So first let's be on an angle here. I'm on a diagonal. My left knee is over my ankle. And I'm going to slowly come up. But I'm going to bend that back knee so that I don't hurt my low back, bringing the torso upright. And then from here, you can begin to straighten that back leg, but it doesn't have to straighten all the way. It might stay bent. If you feel that you're straightening it and your low back is starting to, your tail is starting to lift, just keep it bent. Bring the tail down and in, and just press into that heel, press down into the front foot. Then we can bring the hands to the heart. Let that left knee be directly over the ankle. Inhale and slowly extend the arms straight up overhead. If this is uncomfortable for your shoulders, you can widen the arms into cactus as we were a moment ago. Otherwise, arms alongside the ears, maybe pressing the palms together and interlacing the temple if it feels right. Any variation is fine for you. Pressing down into the front foot, back into the rear heel. Squeeze those inner thighs together to keep that right hip coming forward, square with the left. Lengthen through the waist and extend up, up, up. Take another deep breath and exhale slowly. Lower the hands to your heart. Inhale, step forward with your right foot. Close your eyes. Lower your arms. And experience the effects of this pose in your body. And opening your eyes. Let's again stand with our feet hip width apart. Bring our hands on our hips. Standing tall, pressing into the feet, extending up through the spine. We're going to shift our weight into the right foot, the right leg. And then we're going to slowly lift the left foot off the floor. Inhale deeply and exhale, stepping straight back now with that right foot. Again, we're going to be on a diagonal. The right knee is over the ankle. Again, we can be on that diagonal and bend that knee and slowly come up. Squeeze those inner thighs, pull that left hip forward, pressing into the front foot, back into the rear heel. And again, maybe this time bringing the arms out and up. Pay attention to your shoulders on that deep breath. Stop where you need to. The elbows can be bent or coming all the way up. Keep the pressure in both feet, pressing into the front foot down, pressing back through that rear heel, and feel that extension from that rear heel rising up through the spine, out through the crown of the head. Breathing fully. One more. And exhale, lowering the hands to the heart once more, leaning forward, stepping off that back foot, lowering your arms, and again, just dropping inside. And taking this moment to notice if you pushed a little further than you should have, or further than felt right for you. And again, not judging it, just letting it be in your awareness. But come back to breath and the body, to this moment. And opening the eyes once more. And we're going to stand at the front of our mat as you just did, with your feet hip width apart. Once more, we're going to bring our hands to the hips, shifting our weight into the left foot, raising the right foot up. Take a breath in, and exhale again, step straight back with that right foot. But this time we're going to straighten the left leg, and we're going to turn the torso to the front. Now you want to check your feet. Your left toes are partway turned in. Your right toes are facing directly to the right. The torso turns in this direction. Ideally, your ankles are below your wrists, but you have to feel comfortable. So check that the right heel would go right through your left arch if you drew a line. Okay. Good. We're going to take a breath in, bring the arms out to the side, and exhale, begin to bend that left knee, pressing it back. Sometimes this knee wants to fall in because we're a little tight in this muscle here. So place your left hand on the outside of your left thigh and press that thigh or your knee into the hand. The knee is facing forward with the toes. Good. Your upper back is tall and lengthening, your low back pressing down, your tailbone down, pulling in, and your feet isometrically pulling towards each other. Your legs are going to feel even stronger. Gaze over your left shoulder. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, we're going to lower that right hand to the thigh. Bring the left arm up. Coming into exalted warrior, we're going to exhale. And you can stay here or come over to the right a little bit. Reach through the left fingers. Keep pressing that right knee back. Keep it over the ankle. And then we're going to straighten that left leg. Keep reaching through the left fingers. Take another breath coming into triangle pose. We're going to exhale and shift over to the left. So we're tilting that pelvis, letting that left hip lift, the right hip come in. Reach, reach, reach. If you want to grab a block and have that handy, that can be really nice there. And we're raising the right arm up. So if you're rounding to get there, then just come up here. This is where you can be, or even higher. So we don't want to compromise ourselves. Now imagine you're against a wall. So we're going to press that right shoulder back. Tuck that right tail under a little bit. Let your heart open up towards the sky and breathe, bringing the head back a little bit as well. Coming out anytime you need to. Take a deep breath in. We're going to bend the left knee. And we're going to place the forearm on the thigh. Pressing again that knee back. If this is also bringing that right shoulder forward, you can come up here so the shoulder can be back. And just come down to where it feels right. Again, the block can be here. And breathe. You might just be here and that's fine. Good. Do one more breath. Inhale, slowly come up, straightening that left leg. You're going to lift the toes, turn them in. And exhale, we're going to hinge forward with the hands on the hips. So a hinging forward is a pelvic tilt. It's not a rounding of the spine. So we're going to lift the tail, reach the heart forward and up, and slowly come down. You can bring your hands behind your thighs. You can place a block in front of you here if the floor is too far away. 3 heights. Wherever you are, relax, let your head drop down. You can bend your knees. Shifting the weight a little towards the balls of your feet, let the tail lift even more. Let the crown of the head drop down. And then inhale, bring your hands on the floor in front of you or the block, come up halfway. And then exhale, let's heel toe the feet together, coming to hip width apart. Head hanging down. And inhale, reach the arms out and up. Come all the way up. Exhale the hands to the heart. Inhale again, out and up. And exhale, arms in cactus as we did before. Let the heart lift up and open. Press the elbows back, pull the low back in, gaze upward. And inhale, come back to center, hands to the heart. And exhale, release the arms down. Close your eyes. And just be here. Being fully immersed in this moment, in this body, with this breath. And then opening your eyes when you're ready. And again, standing with our feet hip width apart. Bringing the hands together in prayer position. Shifting our weight into the right foot. Lifting the left. And exhale, stepping straight back with the left foot this time. And I'm going to turn to the side. And this time we're going to open the body to the front, straightening that right leg. Might want to bring your blocks over to the right side. And again, the left toes are partway in, right toes facing forward, torso turning forward as best you can. Keeping the upper buttocks down and in. Good. And taking a breath in, bringing the arms out to the sides. Good. Take another breath. And exhale, begin to bend that right knee. Remember to press it back. Again, if it wants to come in, you can place your right hand on the outside of your knee and press that knee into the hand. And if it still doesn't want to come in, then you need to shorten your stance. Bring your feet closer together. So keep that right knee over the ankle. Roll the shoulders back. Relax the shoulders. Reach through the fingers and take a gaze over your right shoulder. Pull the feet towards each other. You'll feel a little more work happening in your legs. Draw the navel in a little bit as the buttocks come down, or that tailbone. And we have a tendency sometimes to want to reach over to the right. So take a look down and you want your heart to be above your navel. Good. Take a nice breath in. Exhale, lower your left arm, reach through the right, bring it up. And exhale, exalted warrior. Deep breaths. Straightening now that right leg. Keep reaching through the right fingers. Inhale. And slowly coming over to the right, coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. You might stop here. Wherever it feels right, then you can lower your hand down. You might just be up here. Or you can have a block by your side, bringing the left arm up or not. You can keep the left hand on your hip to bring that left hip back a little bit. Your left tailbone is reaching towards your heel, tucking it in as you open the front body. So remember, if your left shoulder is coming down, then you're too far down. You want to come up so you can bring this left shoulder back and open. Good. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend that right knee. Place your forearm on the thigh, pressing that knee back and bringing that arm straight up. Good. Breathe. Again, notice where you're at. What's happening with your thoughts? Is there agitation? Are you feeling calm and peaceful with yourself? Just to notice. Inhale, straighten that front leg, slowly come up. Exhale, lower the hands to the hips, lift the right toes, turn them in. And again, we're going to bend the knees if you need to. Exhale, hinge forward, a nice forward fold. And here, if you like, you can place your hands on a block as we did before. You can be halfway down, that's really nice. Or you might want to let your head lower down. And again, as we did before, interlace your fingers behind your back to get another stretch in the front of the shoulders, the back of the shoulders. Inhale, if your hands are behind you, lower them down. Bring your hands in front of you on the floor. Lift your head and chest, half lift. And again, we're going to exhale and bring the feet back together, heel toeing them slowly. Coming into that forward fold. Bring the hands to the heart, bend your knees, lift your head and chest as you inhale slowly, coming back up to standing. Lower your arms. And just be. Let the stillness, this calm, fill you up. And if there's agitation, just notice it. Don't push it away. Let it come when it comes. Let it go when it goes. Then letting your eyes open slowly. And let's make our way down to sitting. With our knees bent, sits bones on the mat, so maybe bringing one hip out a little bit than the other. We're going to bring our hands below the knees. And we're going to do a little cat-cow seated. So we're going to inhale, pull the low back in, let the heart lift and open, lifting your gaze upwards. And then exhale, let the tail tuck, let the spine round, and draw up the chin. Inhaling, tail through the whole spine. Let the heart be full and open. And exhale, tuck and round. And inhale, come back up. And what we're going to do next is bring our legs over to the left side. I'm going to mirror you this time, so you can bring your legs over to the left side with your right hand down on the mat near your right hip. Let's inhale the left arm out and up. And exhale, we're going to twist gently to the right, lowering that left hand down. Getting a nice little twist here. And this might be just the right place to stay. Breathe. Or if you like, you can walk your hands further to the right and forward. There's no better or worse, just different. So maybe you want to come all the way down. But the moment you notice it's just a little bit too much for you, then come back. This is how we find our edge. And as you breathe at the edge, you may notice that the body is going to relax. When we follow the mind is going to tell us, do this, do that, go further, you can do more. We don't have to listen to that. We want to pay attention to what's real, what the body is saying to do. So find that edge that feels right and breathe. And wherever you are, inhale, slowly come up. Good. And we'll switch directions. From the other side. Now with the left hand outside the left hip for support, we're going to inhale the right arm up and exhale, gently twist now to the right, lowering that to the left, lowering that right hand down. Feeling how this is here. Taking a deep breath. And as you exhale and relax, maybe you can walk a little more to the left and maybe come down, maybe not. Find your pose. Every exhalation, you might soften and lower a little bit more. Maybe you can gaze over that left shoulder a little bit. Send those breaths deep, keep them steady, and keep observing what thoughts might be passing through. Let them come, let them go. Not trying to stop the mind, but just being more aware. And inhale, press into your hands, walk back to the right if you've walked over to the left. Slowly come back up. Good. Let's bring the feet back to the mat and come back down onto our back, however that feels good. And now what I'd like everyone to do is take their block or book or whatever it is you have, bend your knees, place your feet on the mat, and we're going to lift the hips and place that block right at the low back. Relax your arm by your side, tuck your chin just a little bit. So you don't want something too high here. And what we're going to do is extend the left leg and bring the arms overhead. If that doesn't feel right, then keep it a little bent, that left knee. Pay attention to your low back. Let your arms be above your head if it feels good. If not, keep them out to the sides. Relax and breathe here. We're getting a nice, gentle back bend. And if you like, you can reach your left arm over to the right a little bit. Maybe take a hold of your left wrist and get a little bit of a side bend in there as well. Keep breathing, softening as you exhale. And inhale, coming back to center if you've gone to the side. Bend that left knee once more. And then slowly straightening the right leg. Make sure it feels okay for your low back. If you're on something too high, it might just not feel right for you. And again, if you like, reaching over to the left, taking a hold of your right wrist with your left hand, getting a little side stretch now on the right side. Durga Pranayama, the 3-part breath, breathing deep into the belly, to the ribs, to the chest, the breath gliding back down. And inhale, slowly come back to center. Bend your right knee, bring your arms to your sides. And you can stay here for a little bit, or perhaps you'd like to pick up one foot and then the other. Make sure that block or whatever you have is in a nice place in your low back. This should feel easy. And maybe straighten one leg and then the other. It's a very gentle inversion. This reverses the blood flow, nourishes the organs in the body, the heart, the intestines, the lungs. And you can rotate the ankles if it feels good, going both directions. You can point and flex. You might even want to raise your arms and rotate the wrists, but maybe not. Again, this is your practice. You have to feel good. Remember to go both directions. And wherever you are, lower your arms, bend your knees into the chest, lower one foot and then the other. Lift your hips up, remove the block or book, whatever you have there. Let your back settle down into the mat, and then maybe tuck the knees into the chest for a little bit. Reach your tail away from you, and if it feels right, you can circle the knees. They can be together or you can separate them. Make sure you go both directions. And now preparing for Shavasana, our final pose. Lower one foot then the other. Stretch out your feet. Tuck your chin a little bit. Make sure you can find a position where you're completely comfortable, where your body will not disturb you. Separate your feet comfortably apart from each other. Your arms comfortably away from the body. Let's all take a deep breath in, belly, ribs, chest. And exhale it out, through the mouth. And again, a deep breath in. And this time out through the mouth, exhale, let your body be even heavier into the mat. As the body settles, once again, feel the support beneath you, the earth holding you. You can let go, emptying the mind, focusing continually on the inhalations and exhalations. All tension draining from the body on every exhaling breath. And letting go more and more. Whenever you notice your mind has become distracted, just gently guide it back to this breath, to the body. Relax your jaw, your eyes, your neck and shoulders, even your hands and fingers, feet and toes, soft belly. Coming slowly again to your breath. The breath may have become very soft. Notice how relaxed your body may feel. The mind maybe a little less active. Taking deeper breaths, wiggling the fingers and the toes, maybe rotating the wrists and the ankles, maybe reaching the arms overhead, getting a full body stretch as we come back into the body. Deep breaths now, in and out. And then with your arms alongside your body, you can bend your knees into the chest. Maybe bringing the right arm up alongside your ear and coming onto your right side, resting your head on your arm in fetal pose. And then slowly you can place the left hand on the mat and the right hand pressing ourselves back up. Nice and slow, keeping your eyes closed. Again, coming to a comfortable seated position. That was my dog. Sorry. Let your hands rest on your thighs, palms up or down, the eyes gently closed. And just once again, connect with the breath. Rest as you in this moment. Connecting with the peace that's found only here. Please bring the hands together in front of your heart, in Anjali Mudra. Press the palms together, lengthen up through your spine, and please join me as we chant one sound of Om to close our practice today. Again, beginning with a deep breath. Exhaling fully. And again, a deep breath in. The moment we wish things were different from the way they're showing up, we deny the beauty of the present moment. Slowly opening our eyes back to this moment of your day and into the rest of your life. Jai Bhagwan. That means victory to the divinity within you. Thank you for joining me today.